Well, I came here to update you all on my problems, but in the case, but when I think, the situation of the world today, here I am trying to help personal injury cases to know the sort of dilemma they're going through, and but when you think that today there's our soldiers out there dying, you got presidents who are dictating basically to the people, what they want, and our prime ministers are doing the same thing. So here I am coming here to tell you about how awful the whole system of, you know, personal injury cases and the claimants are having to go through. And here, on the other hand, you've got a powerful force that are, sending people out to die and killing thousands of people. So it makes the whole thing worthless, absolutely worthless, because these are people out there dying, and we don't seem to do nothing about it, as if we're going to do anything in changing the personal injury legal system. If we can't stop thousands of people from dying, if we can't stop our own soldiers from dying, these are people who just went out to get a job. I joined the forces because it was an easy job to get hold of at the time. I wonder how many people who joined up and find themselves in the dilemma today, trying to get a job so they can pay for their upkeep and support their family and children. And the attitude, I want to put this on video because the attitude, when my first day on the parade ground, our Sergeant Pryor, I believe, then followed by Sergeant Eastman and Westman, and the attitude the sergeant had on the parade grounds. He told us basically, in plain English, we're there because our parents didn't want us. So it is sad, to think there is parents sitting at home thinking that, their children are gone to the forces or the army to join up, and the sergeants that are training them are telling them that they are there because their parents don't want them, And what a beginning, to start a new job, where somebody is telling you on the parade ground, shouting out on the top of his head that your parents don't want you, To me, I just, well, I was 20, coming on 21 at the time, and it seemed to me, what am I here for? But I was just, wondering, like, did my parents know that these people were shouting out that they didn't want us? That we're only there because they didn't want us. Well, I get back onto my case again. I just wanted to add this in that this whole affair with my case, I found it extremely sickening, basically, and I never knew that this sort of behavior exists. Basically, like, we are being dictated to, like, as if we're dealing with a bunch of fascists, that is, somebody has dropped these washing machines in you, and you employ these people to come and help you sort out the problem. But basically, you're dealing with a bunch of dictators. Like, and as far as personal injury claimants who think that you had a terrible we had a first and terrible second solicitor, and you think that you can employ another solicitor to come and change it, to make it better. I'll tell you, the attitude that these solicitors had, say for example you sack your solicitor for heading north, because he's heading in the direction, the problem is south, and the other solicitors that come along, they still develop the attitude that because the first and second solicitor headed north, there is no point of return. They should still be heading north, because the damage is done. And this is the sort of dictatorship that you have to live under, or they won't take the case on because you want to head south. And so basically, the problems you're gonna have, you basically lost before you ever begun, because the first solicitor is already going ahead north, because this is where the demigods stay, and this is the where the demigods dictate to them, and this is the direction they want to go. They're not going to go south, because they know south is to your interest. They'll always be heading north. I dare say some of them are watching this video now, and they think to themselves, oh, what is he on about? There's nothing they can do. We can go out and kill 1 million people, drop an atomic bomb on some poor bloody nation without any weapons. There's nothing these assholes can do about it, because we are the power. We dictate to the world what to do. We run our legal system the way we want it. We'll establish a method that we can only come out winners. And it probably varies a little bit from the States and the UK, but I think if you think the States is such a wonderful place, that you've got such a good, just go to Google Groups and ask to be updated weekly on a personal injury case. Personal injury, just put in and ask to be, for you to send you a weekly update on personal injury, and it will shock you in the States that not only the solicitors are corrupted, even the judges are corrupted. So for those who think that you got it good in the States, you're living in cloud cuckoo land, basically. I don't think it's very much the same as here, and I think basically a lot of things are tried out here first, and if it works very well, it's sent to the States, or when it works well in the States, it's sent to the UK. So these people that rule the world has got it all. They've got it all in the box, basically. For those now who are trying to create a revolution, or trying to, you can put my name on the list, but the thing is, the majority of people, when you're young, you're trying to bring up a family and never have enough money to do anything, and all these things are very terrifying for you. Well, I know it's extremely terrifying when you got a, 3-year-old, 2-year-old, a baby to bring up, and, these people are talking about, rebelling against the society, but you're going to come back one day at 59 like us, we'll be 60 this year, and wondering, what a bloody world our parents has left us. What a democracy. I thought we had a bloody democracy. We have some of the best corrupted system going ever created on this planet, running at present, And if you can start to understand that, if we do get off our ass and fight back, we're fighting to change and destroying that fruitcake. I wouldn't like my kids or grandchildren to come across this fruitcake that I had to succumb since, the accident. To think that but what frightens me the most is the majority would sit back and look at it and say, oh yeah, this thing takes long. They take up to 5 years. Well, that's about the time. Well, all I can say to you, Lord, is go and read the civil procedure rules and Lord Wu's recommendation, and read the rule book. There's nothing in this rule book that allows a case to go on for 5 years, Generally in these civil procedure rules, they give, the defendants 28 days to answer back a letter that your solicitor sent, or any demands that he's asked. Within 28 days, he's supposed to answer and follow it through. If it's not, it's up to your solicitor to go to the court and say, listen, the defendants haven't fulfilled the requirements of the CPR rules. But not if the solicitors are working, collaborating with the defendants. They can't count 28 days. They don't know how long 28 days is. 28 days in my first solicitor was 4 months. 4 months was 28 days. So, and he's on, he's recommended by the Law Society. He's on their bona fide members list. A solicitor that can't tell 28 days from 4 months. Well, the next stage of our case is we're going to mediation. You know, this is another thing. I don't know, have we got a choice to go to mediation or not? Whether we have or not, we're going there whether we like it or not. And I think the CEDR is going to be the mediators, and I think Sir Henry Brooke is going to be sitting there. I've heard of Sir Lord Brooke, but I'm taking he's probably the same person. But there again, you see, it shows you that how they can dictate these things and move forward to the direction they think that they're doing the right thing. But I personally don't think they're doing the right thing. I can't see how a woman with a mild brain injury and fractured 3 vertebrae need to go to mediation. Like she doesn't know that this damn mediation is coming up. So that shows you the logic of the whole scenario. That you know they basically dictate everything. What you go, and they've probably even decided how they're going to treat us. And how it's also boggling. But I'm going to have to go through more about this mediation thing in my other video, because I think this one is going on long enough. See you.